Yo, what up, what up, what up? Look, man, we got a crazy video once again. My guy, Sean Cotton, he has an interesting take. Let's react.
Cenat, I say Cenat. Man, I ain't got too much to say, man. I'm at the airport and shit, my guy. Hey, look, buddy, man, let me in that motherfucking screaming university, buddy. Yeah, man, I'm trying to turn up for the summer. Let me in the motherfucking me screaming, huh? Yeah, let me in the screaming university, Cenat.
Crazy.
Oh.
That's crazy.
Don't do it.
Oh.
Don't do it. Don't look. Rap, and this is no hate to Cenat, right?
All right. What's this take?
This is why rap is dying. Don't do it. Cenat, he just launched Streaming University. Everybody's trying to get in, and I get it. It's a huge platform. No hate to Cenat. Genius. He's amazing at what he does. He's made a fortune off of what he does. Rappers, don't do it. This is why rap is dying. Because everybody is cashing out. Everybody is selling their soul. Everybody is giving into stuff that they really don't want to do, but they have to do it because of rap, because rap is too slow. Don't do it. Y'all look like losers. I'm seeing all these street guys.
Hold on. All right, man. Look, Sean Cotton, you know, my guy got some interesting takes every now and then. I'm going to have to disagree with this one, but I also could see from a balanced perspective where both things could be true, right? He was just about to go in on like street cats going into the streaming world because, you know, money's slowing up in rap for them and, you know, they're just trying to chase a bag. And, you know, I get that, right? Like, you know, streams, bread, trying to accumulate. It's all fair game, but it's like the fans can easily tell when you're just in this shit for a lick, or, you know what I'm saying, just because it's the hottest thing to do right now. Now, to keep it a bean, to keep it player, you know, streaming, I think any rapper of a decent caliber of music making ability, if they were to hop into streaming, you know, that would be an awesome asset for them to tap into, you know. And I could just speak for myself. Like, I make quality art from the music, the art direction, you know, the characters that I embody to pull off certain concepts, you know. And so when you're streaming, that's just another way to engage with your fans. Now, I think later on in his video, because I've heard other clips online surface, but later on in the video, he talks about how that it's hard for streamers to become musicians and musicians to become streamers because the first impression is the best impression. And, you know, it's like, you know, once you're known to the world that you're a streamer, it's kind of hard to get out of that. Now, to keep it a stack, to keep it a thou wow, not every streamer makes player music, you know. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, you might think player is like on some swagged out, you know, we get money over here type shit. And that's one aspect of it. But on some shit where you can compete with the greats, you know what I'm saying? You can make the swag rap, compete with the greats, you know, make music for yourself, make music for the world. When you got your hand in different bags of sounds, you know, streaming is like, it's just another way to distribute that. You know what I'm saying? So we could play more of his take, but that's just where I'm coming from with that.
Tag Cenat. The same people, the same genre who used to hate on bloggers, hate on streamers.
Facts.
Now everybody wants to get in.
Facts.
Don't do it. It's a ceiling. You're gonna hurt your rap career. You
See,
do it, your rap
see,
career is.
you know, when he's saying ceiling, I don't, I just don't believe in a ceiling, like, because you know, if we really being honest here, the ceiling is only the platform that you know controls the house. I like to look at all the social medias, right, as like casinos. And so there's a ceiling in the casino, right? Like you can't just play the slot machine over and over, or better yet, play black, because maybe slot machines you can, because it's not guaranteed you win your money. But if you playing a card game, let's say you counting cards, and you stacking your chips, and it's not illegal to count cards, but if you make it obvious that that's what you doing, that's when them boys pull up in them suits. You know what I'm saying? And they they take you out back, and straighten you out and show you what the system look like. You feel me? And so that's the ceiling, right? It's like, it's almost like you can't win too much in the casinos, right? You can't win too much, it seems like, on social media. Like, I even had my vidIQ audit, you know, uh my Instagram and my YouTube, and it just gave me the harsh, God honest truth about just what I'm doing wrong, what I could do right, what's excellent on my end. You got to face these critiques if you want to become elite. And you know, it just put me in a space where I'm like, I'm putting up a lot of shots, but what vidIQ was teaching me was like, yo, like, when you land on a topic that got momentum, you want to carve it out. You want to mine it out. And for me, I'm such a sporadic creative on doing different things, talking about different things, that it literally told me I was outworking the algorithm. And so the algorithm really didn't even know, like, where to place me, or put the ceiling on me, to then say, okay, now that we got your ceiling because you're a hip hop contemporary content creator, just stick to that, and then we'll funnel views your way with that. But it's like, that shit didn't really sit right with me, just because it can boost my numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 1 minute I might be talking about Kingdom Hearts, the next minute I might be talking about my college adventures, the other minute I'm talking about music, or I'm talking about what's going on in the world about the music. And so it's just, I'm fresh. I'm fresh. And it's almost like the algorithm tries to penalize you when you're this fresh. You feel me? And you can laugh. You can laugh. But that's just the reality of what happened to me yesterday when I audited myself yesterday. So what he's saying is, like, I feel like rappers that are just not, maybe, for lack of better words, not the best, or at what they do, or maybe they didn't treat music serious to begin with, or maybe it was just bullshit to begin with, if we being honest here, that when it's slowing up on their end, and their core fans don't really give a fuck about the slop that they put out, that the moment that they hop into the streaming bag, it becomes like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing now? Or, oh, like, because it didn't work out for you as a rapper, that's why you're a streamer. But for any rapper that is putting out quality, or any singer that's putting out quality, shit, just any artist, you could be a fucking painter, dog. Like, you could, you know what I'm saying? Like, for anybody that's putting out quality work, if you decide to stream and then talk about that work, talk about your process, whether it's all over the place or whatnot, and that makes you feel good to have content, representing you, talking about what you love doing, I don't really see the issue in that. I don't really see the ceiling in that. vidIQ might tell you, yo, you need a ceiling, so that way we could package you to then, watch you grow. But it's like, it just depends on what type of content creator you want to be. If you want the numbers right away, you know what I'm saying, you might follow those instructions. If you want to test it out, get some of the numbers, do what they say, and then still do what you do on the side, or maybe make different channels for different things. How, if you want to separate it like that, that's up to you. But I don't know, like streaming, it's just like when we saw even with Drake with the Iceman, like he was promoting that shit for like 2 years straight. You know what I'm saying? Doing live streams. He already had the fan base locked in with his music, so that's the plus, right? You got a handful of people that say it's great music, quality music. Got another handful of people that says like, yo, he never changes his music, so it's like it just became whatever over time. But he still has the attention, right? And so when he pivoted into streaming, it got people excited because they're seeing Drake try different things. You know what I'm saying? They're seeing Drake, take pages out of the playbooks of these streamers, Cenat, Blackboy Max, DDG. You know what I'm saying? The elites right now. You know what I mean? The AMP, like Phantom, like the elites that do what they do. He took a page Aiden Ross, you know what I'm saying? He took a page out of all of them and he amalgamated that to his game. He added that to his formula. And once he got the streamers tapped in, right, to then interact with his project, whether it was the ice blocks or whatever or pulling up to other people's streams, you know what I'm saying, and then juicing the numbers for everybody, like it was just genius. So it's like, what was the ceiling for Drake? Like, granted, he's a superstar, maybe that's an anomaly take, but I'm just saying, like, it was utilized effectively. And so I don't know. I think it's worth testing out, trying it out, and figuring it out for yourself. But let's see what he says.
It's over. It's maybe 2 or 3 rappers that could get in streaming university and it benefit them because they kind of already built their foundation.
Yeah.
Finesse 2 Times is one of them. He can get in streaming university, make something go off. People love him. He's a character. He's already a solidified rapper. He's not a new rapper trying to make a name. He gets shows. He has the foundation. It's not too many else that could really get in. A lot of y'all look like losers now. A lot of y'all look like hypocrites. A lot of y'all, it looks forced. It doesn't look real.
Too, like, I can give a fuck what it looked like. That's the other part too. Fuck what it looked like. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. Like, if you were lame in life, in real life, then that's just going to translate whether you got money as a rapper or money as a streamer. Like, you can't really unlame yourself. So, when he's saying, yo, like, y'all going to look lame, you probably already lame now. You know what I'm saying? Now, I do understand that, like, if you're making music and you want to be known for music, but the first encounter that people catch you on is you on a stream talking about something other than music, you know what I'm saying? Then people will be like, oh, he's that streamer that talked about whatever topic that, they saw you from, right? But it's like, that you almost can't really, it's almost like where the internet has become now with just making videos about anything in life. Like, if anything could have got you noticed or famous and it had nothing to do with music, people would have already assumed that, oh, okay, well, I've seen him before. He must be famous, or what does he do? Streaming is like the act of turning the camera on and saying, what up, though? You know what I'm saying? But the content within the stream of what you talking about, how you carry yourself, shit, even if you got your music in the background or whatever, like, those key things matter, and even in midstream, telling people where to find your music, you know what I'm saying? Or like, yo, y'all like this song playing in the background, that's me on the track with whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I just feel like the first impression shit is definitely important, but at the same time, like, you can't hold yourself back on people that would bump into you on accident for something else anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta just live your life. People gotta be out there just living their life and documenting it. That's all streaming is. You know what I'm saying? You got people in a gaming chair for 12 hours straight, in a crib, whether they rent it out or whether they live with their parents or whatever it is. But you got people making full-time careers just talking. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that, because then you got people that will do that and then pay people in the Philippines to clip what they was talking about, and then now all of these micro clips is feeding the ecosystem that's plastering their face everywhere, to where now all of a sudden the conditioning is, oh shit, he's a streamer because I see him in a gaming chair talking. Even if you was talking about music, your music, the fact that you're doing the representation of sitting down like a streamer and talking about it, you're automatically going to be labeled as a content creator or somebody that streams. So, I mean, do you ever stream? You know what I mean? At that point, come on, man. Like, stream. It's another piece of content that can add lore to your mythology, that can add to your, you know what I'm saying, the packaging of an artist. We're not in the traditional format where you only see an artist doing interviews, and you know what I'm saying? Like, they gotta be so cool in the interview and so mysterious. And don't get me wrong, like, for me, I'm a mystique type of guy, right? Like, lately, I'm sure everybody has been, seeing me post wild content. For vidIQ to tell me that I'm outworking the algorithm, that's a good and a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad thing when it comes to mining out the business and getting a lot of views at a faster rate. It's a good thing because I'm so hyper aware and so hyper creative with just my ideas that I don't hold myself back from putting it out there and being critiqued on it and being judged on it, right? A lot of people are afraid of criticism, and so they don't do shit. They don't put out that song that's been on their hard drive. You know what I'm saying? They don't put out the stream that they just did because they scared of what their friends and family and coworkers is gonna think, right? And so you can't live for others, man. Fuck them. You can't do that shit to yourself. All creators in 2026 have to adapt. They have to find the pivot. They have to create the window of opportunity. You understand? Like, you have to be prepared to get lucky. You know what I'm saying? Don't just bank on getting lucky. Like, no, show up to your desk, create your setup, create your space, and cook this content. You know what I'm saying? And try to offer value, and substance to the people, to an audience that may listen, right? And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully you can accumulate some numbers over time, or scratch, hopefully you can just pay for some ads and then put yourself into the market. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit costs money. Everything costs money. Everything was pay to play. I don't understand why people think like that's not what it is. I paid to get this mic. This microphone is $2,500. You know what I'm saying? I got it years ago. I didn't just get it because now I'm a streamer. No, I'm a recording artist, so I'm gonna have certain things: speakers, microphones, Apollos, board, audio board mixers, and shit like that. Lights, cameras, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, invest in yourself. Take chances. Take risks. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, I hear what Sean Cotton is saying to the people that just treat everything in life as a lick, right? That mentality, you gonna hop from one gig to the next, to the next, to the next, and I can't be mad. Get your coin. For a lot of people that treat, ironically enough, the ones that treat music like a prostitute, like an escort, somehow seems to get the most benefits anyway. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Ironically, you know what I'm saying? The ones that seem to love it and care for it and always show up for it and always put out interesting concepts, interesting artwork, all of a sudden now you're overworking the algorithm, you doing too much, you don't have a lane, because you're doing all of these lanes, pick a lane. It's like, yo, but I'm a human being. Like, I like what I like. I can't just be caged to one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just whack to me. That's just whack to me. And the reality is, a lot of your favorites look up to cats like us, take our ideas, create that one lane, and then all of a sudden now they're known for the shit that we made up, right? And they probably will never give the credit because, they fan base want to look at them as the one that did it. But the thing is, if I'm going to continue being me at all times, sooner or later it's going to catch up to those that had to copy, had to swag jack, had to figure out, how to stay hot, how to stay relevant, And look, it's the internet. So anything you put out there is bound to be copied, duplicated, or studied and shit like that. There's a lot of streamers that I study, right? They might have their lighting on point. They might have their audio on point. They might have their sound effects on point. There's things that I'm like, oh, okay, I could up my game here, here, and here. I take my notes. You know what I'm saying? But it's no different when I'm making music as well. I listen to a lot of music. I listen to a lot of genres to know how to make the shit. You understand? And then accumulate certain ideas and pulverize certain ideas to where now it becomes its own thing. So I pay homage, show respect. You know what I'm saying? Create something new. That's a combination of things, right? And then I fearlessly present it to the world, whether it's fully mastered and all of that. We could always upgrade that shit later, but the concept is alive. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm rambling, but I'm passionate. You know what I'm saying? We could play more of what he's saying.
Of course, it doesn't look real. A lot of you, when you post, when you beg Cenat to get on Stream University, you're only letting your fans know that the shit not working. Your fans are looking at you crazy.
Begging is crazy.
It's not a good look. Streaming is the new reality TV. Remember when Wayne said, "When I retire, I'm gonna be on VH1 when I'm no longer famous"? That's the same thing with streaming. It's like if you're an up and coming rapper and you're trying to stream and do stuff like that, it's gonna hurt your career because people are gonna know you for streaming. And first impression is everything. Yeah. First impression is everything. If you don't have a hit record or a foundation in rap and people start knowing you off streaming, it's really gonna hurt your career. It's really gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he talking to the trash rappers out there. I just have to say it. What do you want me to do?
Bravo, Bagazo.
What do you want me to do? I think personally, man, he's talking to rappers that just, they're so green and so like level 1 in music making that it's like, I mean, dog, Wiz Khalifa is streaming. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of cats that, and granted, Wiz Khalifa got hits. Granted, Wiz Khalifa got a foundation. We can say that, but it's just like, now I do agree with the begging shit. Like the begging shit is just that shit is just wild. You know what I mean? Like to be begging for anything online is crazy. In life in general. You know what I'm saying? Like unless it's your lady that you really dying to have, and even then it's like, with the confidence that you should have, it's like, yo, I love it enough to let it go. You know what I'm saying? If it's meant to be, it'll stay for me. So that's how I'm rocking. But nah, like, I think, man, both things could be true. I think I'm just on the other side of it, right? Like, check it out. I know I'm not a household name to the world yet for music and all of that, but I got a shit ton of music, dog. Like, I got a boatload of music. Like, there is no hiding it, at all. At all. You Google my name, all that shit pop up. You know what I'm saying? You go on the SoundCloud, all of that shit pop up. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you play the sounds, all of that shit's gonna pop up. So, I feel like for me to just be multifaceted on some Army Swiss knife shit, that's just where I'm at. That's just how I'm rocking. This is warfare for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to figure out how to cut through the noise. You know what I'm saying? And if streaming is a waiting lobby or a waiting room for people to just get to know me and be like, yo, so like, what you loading up for? It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to drop an album pretty soon. Like I could tell you all of these things talking on camera, being myself, being elite at just what I do, what I offer, what I present. And then when the album dropped, now I'm in that album mode. I might have behind the scenes footage of me in the actual studio. I might share that with y'all. I might go live in the studio to show y'all how to make a record or what I do to get in my zone for making a record and shit like that. Like all of that live footage, background footage, whatever footage is like that shit is just so key more than ever now. You know what I'm saying? So to the rappers that want to become the streamers, don't get discouraged. They're both jobs, right? So even when I tapped into Axe Stream about this topic from this guy, I think he shared some of the same sentiments, but he was also just being realistic. He was like, yo, like rappers thinking that streaming is easy. Like it's not. Like you really gotta put in time. If you want your jersey in the rafters and anything, you really got to play ball. You really got to be on the court. You really got to be in the gym. You really got to lock in. There's no escaping it. You know what I'm saying? See, it looks easy when people see, like, damn, like Blaine just dropped 5 clips today. And it's like, yeah, because I had a long jam session talking about what I love talking about. And then I was able to edit the shit, whether it's me, myself, or it's the apps that you pay subscriptions to get all the perks and then figure out how to do all of that shit. Like, it's just being creative and tech savvy at the end of the day. Some people got teams behind them doing that shit. Other people, I work too. I work my 8 hours a day type shit too. You know what I'm saying? I got other shit going on in my life too, to where it's like, yo, the only time that I really can turn on the camera and get to it, it usually be late at night, like right now. You know what I'm saying? But this is the cheat code. This is the grind time. Even when I was at work, I was thinking about concepts and formulating talking points and figuring out angles of light on how I wanted to present my light. You know what I'm saying? So, you really gotta want this shit. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta want this shit. Me personally, it doesn't. If people in the world know me for streaming, it's not gonna warp my mindset on my music making ability just because I'm successful in one thing. Sometimes in life, what I'm learning too is that when you don't chase something, somehow that's when it's magnetic as fuck to come to you. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes it's like you gotta do something else to then give your creative side enough time to charge because you've been just mining shit out on go the whole time that, you know what I mean, you might be in a creative fatigue. And that's fine, bro. Like when you work out and you go to the gym, like rest is a part of the workout. Diet is a part of the workout. You know what I'm saying? You can't beat yourself up because you didn't crack 100 views today or you only had 5 people watching today. It's a slow process, bro. You gotta trust the process. I was like, when I got audited yesterday, bro, like I'm a human being, like getting criticized, like to anybody, I could tell you I'm Teflon down all day. But when I saw where I was lacking, when I saw where I was weak, it was like, damn, like, all right, I'm going to eat that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to eat that. I built too much to give up now, to quit now. So it's not telling me to quit. But I definitely got to map out a game plan if this is what I want out of it. You know what I'm saying? And you got to be real with yourself on what you want out of what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to be a streamer because all you want is money, dog, I'm here to tell you, you got to put in a lot of time to even get some change back. And that's with anything, but especially for streaming. You got to put in that time. You got to follow some formulas. You got to see like, okay, the vidIQ is criticizing me, but it's telling me how to win. And then you got to get to that win and then test that out, right? And with all of these casinos for social medias, they be changing the algorithm every few months. You know what I'm saying? So the moment you found a formula that works, now they switch it up and they tell you got to do this now. It's the same thing when like, I put everybody on to in my area. I'm pretty sure a lot of artists in general was probably doing this out there in the world because I know Russ was even doing this too. the formula of just putting out a song a week or a month, straight, you know what I'm saying? Like just having a batch of records ready to drop either every day or every week or every month. However, like I was doing that with singles, EPs, you know what I'm saying? LPs was like more so every few months type of thing. But, when it came to the bread, people probably thought I had mad money because it's like, yo, how is he always probably copping the beats and always in the studio and always having the artwork and always looking fly? And I get it. Like that perception, could come off and read to y'all as like, yo, like this dude is signed or yo, this dude got it. And the truth is, man, I've been just busting your ass with 9 to 5 money. As quiet as it's kept. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been just working job after job, 2, 3 jobs, side hustle jobs, and I still had to pay my rent. I still had to pay all them bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, you might be in a little dry spell making music, but shit, that don't mean you can't turn the camera on and pop shit and talk your shit and pop it with the best of them. That don't mean that. That's like I could say it's the easiest thing to do probably because I'm developing the muscles over the years to do it and just be myself no matter where I am. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why I'm popping it like that. But to be honest, like shit, you look at cats like Joe Budden, an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour episodes. Like an album, what's considered an album is what, like 25 to 30 minutes of game tape, of gameplay, right? Of audio, right? You doing hour streams, 2 hour streams, 4 hour streams, 6 hour streams. Now, the algorithm told me like, yo, you not really known like that to be doing long form like that, right? But here's what I'll tell you. If you are doing the long form, just make sure you clip the best shit out of that long form. You feel me? And figure out how to, use the hook. It was telling me, yo, make sure whatever the hook is for your video, put the hook in the beginning of the video and then come back into the video talking about whatever you're talking about. And that's a new tactic that I gotta soon implement in my videos, right? But all in all, these are strategies and tips to just get you icy. You know what I'm saying? To get you colder out here. And people are going to feel left behind because you're dropping clip after clip, content for content. And to me back then, it was no different when I was going song for song and quality songs too. Not that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like quality raps, quality choruses. You know what I'm saying? Quality concepts, out of this world concepts. You know what I'm saying? Like just real shit. Like, know who the fuck you talking to when you talking to me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, just understand that. You know what I mean? Because ain't shit lame over here. You might view something corny because you don't do it, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a fan base that love and appreciate what the fuck you do. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be confident and carry that charisma and aura about you. You just gotta carry that into the things that you're great at, and then mine the great shit out of it. And that's the gem I'll leave y'all for today. You know what I mean? This is Blame Ben at the Heavy Metal Savannah headquarters. I could keep talking for hours. You know how it go. But until next time, man, deuces.